Hello YouTube. I am holding the tablet today, so it might be a little bit wobbly. It is Monica, known as Sleeve McQueen here on YouTube, for my post vertical sleeve gastrectomy week 3 video. I can't believe it's been 3 weeks. And also I can't believe it hasn't been way longer because of just how normal I feel in so many ways. So let's go. My high weight was 406.5, and my current weight is 315. Last week I was 316.4, so 1.4 loss, 1.4 pound loss, which is good. For a few minutes I thought I was in the dreaded, week 3 stall, and even though it's significantly less than I lost in the first 2 weeks, it's a loss. So that's 91.5 pounds total and 18 pounds since surgery. I am doing really well. I really am. I have had some more, I think, emotion. So, they say that once you lose weight quickly, that it releases all the stored up estrogen in your fat and you can get a little hormonal, a little emotional. I think I'm having some of that. I did do a notebook again this week, and I'm going to try not to hit 17 minutes. So, this week I had my first vomiting experience. I was half asleep, and I took, instead of taking a drink of water, I took 2 drinks in succession. So, gulp, gulp. Within a few minutes, I was, oh gosh, what have I done? And for me, it was just as violent as throwing up post-op. It was a shorter duration, and it was less volume, but I had just as much gagging and coughing, and the violence of it was reminiscent of throwing up with a full-size stomach. I know a lot of people say that it's much different after surgery. For me, it really wasn't, except for the time involved. It only was maybe a 2-minute experience, the actual throwing up, as opposed to 5 or 7 minutes when I had a full-size stomach. And I felt crummy afterwards for probably 16 to 18 hours. I just felt ugh. So more careful with the drinking. My leg numbness and back pain, I saw the primary care. They sent me for a couple of tests, including checking my thyroid, which is in normal range, and checking my vitamin levels, which are in normal range too, and they expected they wouldn't be off this soon after surgery, but they checked them anyway, so my blood work was fine. What she said is, because I have trigeminal neuralgia, which is a neurological condition involving nerve pain, that I might be more susceptible to other types of nerve pain. So the tingling in my toes and feet might not be caused by anything other than a wonky nervous system. If it gets worse, if I have loss of bladder control or complete loss of use of my legs or something like that, then she would check for a compressed disc or something. I wanted some imaging done, but I didn't get it. If it persists, I will persist, and I will get x-rays or an MRI or something. I haven't really had too much numbness and tingling. I still have constant back pain. But again, I think that might be center of gravity. Okay, this one, I'm going to try not to bawl. Back before surgery, a few weeks before surgery, I was, financially it's hard to buy all of the items that you need. And one of those were the impact shakes, which were $60 for a case. I had been given 2 shakes by Kim Stephanopoulos, and she suggested that, or offered, to ask around in the community to see if anyone had any spare impact shakes, because if she had 2, maybe somebody else would have 2 or 5 or whatever, and maybe I could get enough for the liquid diet without having to purchase any. So there were some people who donated, and then the doctor's office misplaced them. That's a whole nother story. And in the end, I did end up buying the case. But the other day, Kim Stephanopoulos told me that she wasn't aware that Facebook had the others folder, where if someone who's not in your friends list sends you a private message, it goes into the other folder. And if you don't purposely check it, you won't see those messages most of the time. So she discovered her others folder and was looking through all the messages that she'd received over the how long she's had Facebook, I guess. And she found a message from someone who wanted to remain anonymous, who said that when it was time for them to purchase the Impact Shakes, they couldn't afford them. And now that they were post-op and, you know, at a different place, they offered $50 to buy Impact Shakes for me. A total stranger. See, now I'm getting... A total stranger offered cash money to buy the case of Impact Shakes for me. Now, of course, Kim missed the message, and I did end up purchasing them myself. That matters not. What matters is that, once again, just proof of how giving and loving this community is and how much people want to pay it forward and be helpful, and they know your struggles. So Kim did message her back and apologize for not seeing the message in the first place, and just, you know, a heartfelt thank you for her offer of generosity. So it just warms my heart that there are people out there. I don't know if this anonymous person knows me or watches my videos or is friends with me on Facebook, but I want to say, into the universe, and hopefully you will get it, thank you. Even though you weren't able to help me get the shakes, you have just boosted my belief in, you know, the love and the camaraderie in this weight loss surgery community. So thank you. Your gesture, although we didn't notice it right away, it has been noticed, and you will get good karma. That's just, and I'll stop bawling now. I had my first night out. I went out to the local place that I go, and it went well. I had my water with lemon. I brought a, see, I just did my makeup and now I'm all cry. And brought a flavor packet, and you know, it's not the same when everybody's drinking and hooting and hollering and you're the only sober person, but it was for, there was a show, and I still had a fabulous time. And I was so glad that I went out, and I felt pretty, and everybody was excited to see me. So that was fun. I mentioned the dreaded 3-week stall that kind of wasn't a stall. And I had a fabulous Mother's Day. My kids treated me so sweet this year. I got actual, real store-bought presents. Because, you know, some of my kids are old enough to have jobs now. And that was just fabulous. I got a Chromecast, which I had thought about getting last December for myself, and that was a great big surprise. And then I had asked for a hammock, and I got a hammock. So I was a princess this year, and it was super sweet. Okay. I'm at 7 minutes. Oh my God. The nitty-gritty. Purees are sitting very well. I have tried beans, scrambled egg, cottage cheese, pureed ground beef. That was, I could get much less in. It tasted very good, but it filled me up really quick. Tuna with mayo. Scrambled eggs is good. Hard-boiled eggs chopped up with mayonnaise like an egg salad was too filling. So, you know, I'll figure it out. It is more of a struggle now to get the water in, but I'm still working on it. It seems, you know, when you look at the chart initially, when you're in the pre-op stages and you think, how is there enough time to get that much fluid and that much food, and you have to have a break between drinking and eating, and it is a struggle, but it will come, and I am able to get even more volume at a time when it comes to the liquids. The restriction feeling that I was having, you know, in my chest and throat is almost gone, except when I'm full, and I'm only feeling restriction, you know, down more close to where my stomach is. So I'm able to get probably a full 8 ounces of fluid in a 30-minute period without feeling bloated. So that's been really helpful. Head hunger. When you guys said head hunger, it didn't occur to me that you meant those, or if for me, I think of head hunger as those obsessive thoughts about food. All day long, I'm thinking, gosh, when can I have that? I wonder what that's in the fridge, but I can't have that for a while. I wonder when that is. So there is a little bit of, obsessive is a really strong word, but it does apply at certain, you know, hours of the day. I do feel a little obsessive with my thoughts. It's not troubling because I just understand that my brain has been getting so much pleasure from food, and, you know, the serotonin and all of that comes when you eat and overeat and think and about food. And so that's kind of turned off. And what I am eating, although it is delicious and I am really enjoying the pureed stuff, it's not the junk and the sweets and the carbs. My body's kind of not hooked on them, but my brain still is. So I have had some head hunger. Again, it's not too obtrusive. It's just, it's not what I imagined head hunger would be. So I guess head hunger is just obsessive thoughts about food. Okay, here's the biggest thing I figured out this week. I was getting over full way more often, and I couldn't figure out, well, where is my turnoff point? Where's that signal that tells me that I'm too full before I get to the point where it feels like the food is all the way up to here? Figured it out last night, a full 3 weeks in. When I had a full-size stomach and would eat, especially when I would overeat, I would feel an urge to burp. And I would burp, and that would relieve the pressure, and I could eat a lot more. And then I could burp again. So it was like a pressure valve making more space in my stomach. I assumed that's kind of what was still the mechanism, the process. I have discovered that that first burp is my only burp. Once I still have little tears leaking. Once I feel an urge to burp, that means I'm done. Because every attempt to burp after that is literally food trying to come back out. So if I stop when I find the urge to burp, I don't get that full up to here feeling. So that was, I don't know if that's going to be true for anyone else, but so that's my trigger. That's my off switch. That's my signal. That bite you just took was your last bite. There's no more room for any other bites at all. And thank goodness I figured that out, and I hope that it remains true, because not having that full up to here feeling is great. Feeling like, okay, my sleeve is full, I'm done eating, and I'm not suffering, that's been great. Also, it's kind of tricky because the volume of what I can eat of one food is different than the volume I can eat of another food. So I can't just have 2 ounces across the board of whatever it is and know that that's enough. I can't. Like hard-boiled egg mixed into egg salad, I had way less of that than I did scrambled egg. So I can't use the eat 2 ounces and then you're done. I kind of have to gauge it by how I feel physically. Cottage cheese, for whatever reason, I can do way more cottage cheese than I can other things. So we hit 13 minutes. It's not 17 minutes. Still doing good. I have had a couple of NSVs, but they're all very similar, mostly fitting into places. I sat on a high bar stool last night out and didn't feel like I was falling over or toppling or hanging over the sides. The steering wheel, now there's a space between me and the steering wheel. I sat in a booth at Panera, which I hadn't tried another booth in a while. I don't think booths are a fluke anymore. I think I can sit in any booth. So things like that, and it's just really going well. I have about 2 weeks until I have another doctor's appointment. So I am just so pleased with the surgery so far and not going to be upset about the 1.4 pound loss. I want to be, which is really ridiculous because I want another 6 or 7 pound loss. It's early stages. Maybe I should be losing quicker. But again, how many people have faced that 3 and 4 week area slowdown or stall completely? So I'm going to brush it under the rug and just be happy. Okay. I love you guys. I hope you guys are cool with the once a week updates, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.